Hey guys, this is Morgan Saint, and I'm hanging out with Rob at Front Row Live.
I am hanging out here with Morgan Saint, which just recently dropped your debut single, You, and I can't stop playing it.
Thank you.
How are you? And like I told you earlier, like that's such a great track to like introduce the world to who Morgan Saint is.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Tell me about that process of creating that single. I know it's part of an EP that you're currently working on.
Yeah.
So what was it about this single that was the reason that you wanted it to be the first listen of Morgan Saint?
I think the EP as a whole sort of tells like a story that's in like chronological order, and so that particular single just sort of starts off that story that's being told, and it was actually like I wrote sort of the songs in that particular order, so it was one of the first songs that I wrote for the EP, and just felt sort of fitting, and it's sort of more stripped down than, I guess, a little bit like airier than some of the others, so my vocal sort of stands out, and I don't know, we made it and it felt really good. It like came together really quickly, and so I feel like it's just a really good sort of start to talk about the rest of the stories, and sets the groundwork for that.
Right. I really loved right when the chorus drops, the beat and everything around it, like it was just like perfect. So was the instrumentation for the chorus, was that an idea that you had? Was this the producer's idea?
Yeah, well, I wrote the song on my guitar originally, so I definitely think when I came into the studio, I sort of imagined, I always try to sort of like I'm really involved in the production end too, so I'm always sort of like, okay, what parts do I want to like stand out more and such. But I work with a producer named Cass Dillon. He actually plays in my band as well, and he's super talented, and we work together and we sort of just figure out like what's working and what's not, and I think this is a song that we definitely heard like the chorus like just like dropping, but in like a way that's not like in your face. It's just like unexpected.
It's subtle. It's subtle, and
but
you're still paying attention.
Going, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I was playing, I had a friend with me the other day, and we were driving back home, and I was like, okay, you have to listen to this. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Just listen to it. So I played You, and like the song ended, and she's like, oh my gosh, can you play it again? So I feel like that's what the audience, the music audience, is going to like, how they're going to take in the new song.
Cool. No, that's good. I think it's just interesting because it was like sort of, I feel like I've grown a lot as a writer, and so like structurally this song is like, and even lyrically it's like pretty simple, maybe in comparison to some of my newer work, but it sort of has like a refreshing, I don't know, I think I'm like, okay, I've evolved from it, but I think I'm trying to think like, okay, people are hearing this for the first time, and I think it has like a little bit of like a fresh, like bare sound to it, so I'm glad that you've responded well to it.
No, well, honestly, like I'm actually excited for them to hear another track off your EP, which I got to listen to.
Did you listen to it?
Yes, I did, and I loved it. Just Friends? Just Friends.
Yeah.
That one was another one that stuck to me.
Cool. I feel like that's like it's like a fun one, and it's sort of easy to like digest, and has little bits of like really personal moments, but I think the theme in general of that song is like, it's a good vibe, but I'm excited for people to hear that one too.
Well, that's you kind of touched on what I wanted to jump into, and it's like it's a more personal song. Being that you are a new artist, you're getting heard for the very first time. What was the mindset while you were creating this music, as far as like you're about to get vulnerable, you're about to get personal with audience that you don't even know about?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is all sort of like unfolded pretty quickly for me. So when I was writing these songs in particular, I don't think I was like necessarily even thinking about other people hearing them. I was sort of just like writing from a personal place, like that's sort of the only place that I know how to write from. And so I think now just having like a song out in the world and like people responding to it, I'm like, okay, people are gonna hear the rest of this, and it's like opening up a little bit of myself to people, so it's a little bit of like a vulnerable place to live, but I don't know, I love music, so I just hope that people can, you know, find their place to relate in my songs, and hopefully have the same response that I have to like some of my favorite artists.
And as we mentioned, this is part of an EP. Do you have any plans on releasing the EP anytime soon? Is there a title for the EP? Like, what is the situation with the EP right now?
I don't know like what's official, but I think it's been written about. I have an EP coming out called 17 Hero.
Okay.
And I don't want to like say the wrong thing, but I think it would be safe to say like in the next month or two.
Okay.
Hopefully sooner than
definitely a fall EP.
Definitely fall EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with this being your debut EP, there's 5 tracks on there. You said you somewhat wrote these tracks in order.
Yeah.
How did you know when to stop? How did you know what was the last song?
I write a lot, and so this was sort of like picked from like a larger group of songs. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm still writing, and it's like a bummer because I'm always wanting to add more to it or switch them out, and I don't know. It sort of just happened where we're like, okay, we're gonna put out an EP, and then we were like, I just like sat down and. I think we were like, okay, these are the songs, and I just kept writing, and like we had to just like cut it off at a certain point when we started to do like.
Morgan, you got to stop.
No, I keep going, but you know, as far as like for this particular EP, but I'm always working towards like future releases as well.
Of course, and at the same time, it's like you're perfecting your writing, you're perfecting your creative thought, I guess you could say, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm personally always learning, so I'm always trying to like. Top my last song that I made. So yeah, I think that's natural for creating. You just keep evolving and making stuff that you feel like even better about, and I think that's sort of like a cool thing about making art.
Right.
It's like competing with yourself, and it's cool.
And the single you dropped on Friday, right? So it's only 3-4 days old, and this was. Not only your debut single, but it's your debut on a major label, Epic Records. Congratulations. How did that relationship come about? How did they first find out about you? How did you guys start working together?
I don't even know the full story. I mean, it like I said, it all happened really quickly. I sort of just met somehow my A&R at Epic, Paul Pontius. Got a hold of my music and heard it, and like pretty immediately got in touch with us, and wow. I don't know. I mean, like
safe to say you probably weren't even looking for a label.
I mean, I was, but it was definitely it happened quickly. But when I flew out to LA because Epic it had just sort of moved out here, I met with everybody there, and I sort of performed for them, and I don't know. I felt like it was like a really like maybe this sounds cheesy, but like I really felt home there, and they were really responsive to my music and supportive and like kind to me, and that's carried through since then, and it's a great label, and it has like really amazing people working there, and
just their lineup too is just incredible.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and I don't know, I think it's a cool place to be because I don't really think they have a ton of artists like me, so
I don't think they have any artists like you, so that's exactly what I told them when I first heard it. I was like, you guys needed something like this, so this is like perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, and yeah, there's amazing lineup, so it's pretty cool to even be, you know, in that family.
Right. Now, music and fashion are 2 big things for you. Yeah. How do they come together?
For me, I went to school actually for illustration, and I did a lot of photo work. Okay. So I'm originally coming from a place like a very visual world, and so like fashion for me is a way to express myself, and I think I have a big interest in like photography, and so that carries through my videos and I design all my own vinyl artwork and EP artwork, and like
you're all around.
I'm doing everything like graphic and design wise, and working really closely with the directors of my videos and the people shooting like my EP cover and stuff like that. So it's been like really cool that Epic has allowed me to be like extremely hands-on. Like that's like a big part for me. So I'm grateful for that. Right.
So the single is out now. The music video's out as well. Which was incredible. What was that like? What was that like shooting your first music video?
Yeah, it was cool. It's stressful because I'm a perfectionist and I want to be on the other side of the camera. Right. so it's sort of.
Can't do it all, Morgan.
I know. I want to, but it was stressful for me because I wanted full control, and you kind of have to give a little bit of that control up. But I worked with a director named Nathan Crooker, and he's really great, and he let me be super hands-on, and I sort of came up with the concept, and he just helped bring all the pieces together to bring it to life. And we worked together on my next video, which I'm really excited about. It's a little bit more narrative and tells a bit more of a story that I think you can sort of delve deeper into, like the EP as a whole, and that video sort of like stands for this story as a whole as well, not just that one song, but like I feel like it just like it fits really well. So I'm I'm excited about that one.
So you're already ready with a second single. You're moving fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan is we'll release the EP and maybe the video around that same time for a second song. But yeah, I want to do as many visuals as possible to go with my music, so we'll see.
It's amazing. Well, today you have a show. Is this your first show?
Yeah, I guess technically it is, which is pretty crazy.
Nice. Any plans for some more shows before the EP drops, or maybe we're going to expect the EP to drop and then you'll do something?
I'm definitely going to be doing some more shows like this, some in New York and Philly, and I'm trying to think. I'm playing cool, something to do with the record. I'm bad at this. I don't even know my own schedule. In New Orleans? How do you pronounce that? New Orleans?
New Orleans?
New Orleans. Okay. I've never been there.
Hey.
I'm excited.
It's all good.
Tomato.
They taste the same.
So I'm excited to go there. I've never been, and then I think the EP is going to be released pretty soon. So I guess we'll see where the world takes me.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, it seemed like the moment you dropped the song, it seemed like you've been getting traction. A lot of people have been talking about you. So I'm very excited to see what they say after they see a performance, and more music, of course. Now, for those music fans out there that are not familiar with their music, who is Morgan Saint?
I think I'm just a really honest person. I think I've been through things as everyone else has, and I don't know. I think I want to share I feel like I'm ready to share my stories with the world, and I love music, and I love making things, like anything visual, musical, and I just feel like that's sort of my path in life. So I'm excited to share that with people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys be sure to check out Morgan Saint. The debut single is out now. It's called You. It's amazing. It's incredible. Check it out, please. Do it. Trust me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Thanks for watching here.